Hi, this is Richard Thornhill. I'm going to continue this teaching on the journey of faith. This is the second day and begins with, it is possible. All things are possible to them that believe. Your growth and development in faith is a journey, not a destination. It is commitment to yourself and to God to do better, to change, to walk in fulfillment of a living dream, a hope. The journey requires a dream, a goal, a vision to keep it moving forward. What would you do if it were possible? What if money and time were not a problem? What if your past didn't matter? What if God could make up for any limitations in your life? What desire do you have buried beneath the rubble of life experiences, which could be dusted off and resurrected in hope? Dreams do come true. Faith is that ability to reach beyond the visible and say, it is possible. Hope grabs that possibility, holds on to it until you accept it and work to bring it into reality. Or you reject it and allow it to shrivel up and die. It's your choice. Faith understands to accomplish anything difficult requires great effort to overcome the challenges and problems. Faith knows adversity usually comes, but decides to make them a test of strength rather than an excuse for failure. Faith faces the fears of the unknown and determination to find a way. The fearful never begin. The weak quit along the way, but the strong overcome the obstacles and the difficulties and endure unto the end. The power of a dream possibility keeps faith moving forward. Focusing on the promise instead of the problem ensures victory. Speaking faith words instead of doubts and frustration releases the miracles. Peter walked on the water during the storm when he kept fixing his eyes on Jesus. He sank when he turns his attention to the stormy winds. Never focus on the problem. Keep looking for the solution. Desire that God has already given you is released by faith, words, and actions. You must continually see the possibility and call those things which are not visible as though they were manifested reality. Henry Ford, inventor of the Ford automobile, saw a nation driving his motorized vehicles before there were any public highways. His words and actions were in agreement with his dream. Joseph, as a young man, had a dream. He visualized a position of great power and importance. He saw his own brothers bowing down before him. He did not understand how it could ever become a reality, but he dared to believe God, who could fulfill the possibility of any dream. When he was sold as a slave by his own brothers, the dream became buried beneath the hurts of family misunderstandings and the difficult, long, abusive years as a slave, and then as a wrongly accused prisoner. Still, he was diligent and faithful to his dream, refusing to lie, steal, or run away from his problems. His dream would not die. Joseph was true to himself and his dream by his moral integrity. His faith and virtue promoted him and gave him favor. Joseph allowed the adversity to make him better instead of bitter. He accepted responsibility for his actions and refused to blame others for his problems. In one day, he was promoted from being chief trustee in prison to become prime minister of Egypt. His dream became true in every way, and he was eventually reunited with his family. God worked through the difficult situations to promote Joseph into a position of power that he could save his family and nation from an impending disaster. There is always a reason behind circumstances which may not be understood for years. Your journey of faith will require the same perseverance through the difficulties. Hope is your dream, and trust in God, who will give you the power to deal with today's struggles. Understand your trials are strengthening you for greater achievements. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Nothing is at risk, nothing to be won. Launch out into the deep if you want to catch the big fish. Dare to believe in yourself and your possibility by taking faith actions. A faith journey will always lead you beyond your understanding into the unknown. You will need God to make up the difference between your ability and the demands of the situation, especially during those long, dark hours of despair when it seems totally hopeless. Strengthen yourself by his promises. Take one more step forward. Leave the critics behind. The greatest victories follow the hardest battles. God is faithful to reveal the possibility to those who ask. He knows the way to the mountaintops, and his grace is always sufficient. Do you hear him calling? Come. Leave the whiners, complainers, gossipers, the scornful, the unbelievers. Come. Walk with me. See the miracles, receive the abundance, do the impossible, and come, become like me. And the patriarchs, this is a verse from Acts chapter 7, verses 9 and 10. And the patriarchs, moved with envy, sold Joseph into Egypt. But God was with him and delivered him out of all of his afflictions. Remember, that took about 22 years for him to be restored to his father. And gave him favor and wisdom in the sight of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and made him governor over Egypt and over all his house. And another verse from Genesis chapter 50, verses 18 and 9 through 20. And his brothers also went and fell down before his face, and they said, Behold, we be your servants. And Joseph said unto them, Fear not, for am I in the place of God? But as for you, you thought evil against me, but God meant it for good, to bring up past this day, as it is this day, to save much people alive. And so that is true. God works through circumstances for those who love him and brings it together for good for all of us. Trust in him who loves you and who will complete what he has begun in you according to his good pleasure. Be blessed.